and what the government is requiring for businesses to provide for their employees under this health care plan. They will not. I talked with last night with a gentleman who had an electrical contracting company, very successful, up in Charlotte. And I was asking him if he was going to be at the meeting with me last night. He said, "No, Tim." He says, I'm just full up to my neck. I can't keep up. I've had to lay off almost all of my employees. At this time, that was about 23 employees. He said, I still have 3 employees. I laid off my secretary. I'm doing secretarial work myself. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep our business afloat. I've also looked at, with the remaining employees I have that I provide health care coverage for, in the future, if I even would expand and get my employees back, I can't afford to do that. So I'm going to have to tell my employees, those that don't have coverage under their spouse's plan, I can't cover you anymore. You're going to have to go on the government plan. Now that's ridiculous. I offered legislation that was a patient-centered, private sector approach. The principles from my bill, the Republicans took in Congress, Dave Camp and Peter Roskam, Paul Ryan, and they went to the White House summit. It was my bill, plus a few additional things that they put into it that were very good, dealing with pre-existing conditions. And the bill did several things. One, it expanded the usability and flexibility of health savings accounts. Those accounts that you set up, you use, it's your money, you make good decisions on it. You talk with your doctor and say, do I really need it? And if so, what's it going to cost me? Or you take it and you buy better health care coverage. That's not a bad idea to use it for either. We ought to expand the capabilities of health savings accounts. It also offered the opportunity for association health plans. So a small group of electrical contractors could join together in an association and purchase health care at reduced cost because of an economy of scale. With more employees and a larger pool, get reduced costs. Why do we allow that? Why do we allow the unions to say no to it and lobby against it? Because it takes away one more reason why unions are necessary, at least a selling point, to get health care coverage. Let's let association health plans work. My bill also said you could purchase health care across state lines, expanding the competition and the variety of health care coverage. And it also said another key thing, if you purchase health care yourself or your household, you get the same tax break and benefit that a business would get. Why not? Doing the right thing, whether you're a business or an individual. Slap the person on the back and say, attaboy, attagirl, you've done good. Here's a tax benefit for purchasing health care coverage. And the final component of my bill was tort reform, dealing with frivolous lawsuits, put a cap on non-economic damages, those pain and suffering damages that, we can't determine. It's all arbitrary what the cost is, and yet still allows certainly for actual abuse, malpractice, and suits to be brought for that. That was a bill that will be very much different than Mark Schauer's support of the government takeover of health care. And I look forward to the opportunity to battle on those issues, because I know the American people are looking forward to the battle. And ultimately, the majority want that health care plan to be repealed and replaced. And I made a pledge and signed it, pictures taken and everything of me signing that I would work to repeal and replace the health care bill that was passed. And I think we can't be just a party of no or a person of no, and that's why I have an alternative, and I've just told you about that we can work towards. The best way to start the process of repealing and replacing is to, the next 2 years, since the president will still be in office and will not sign a bill like mine, is to do 2 things. One, to not fund it, not give them a bill. If the House Republicans take majority, that's our purpose, to not give the funding to begin to implement the health care bill. Secondly, to take, say, a bill like mine and break it apart. My bill was less than 150 pages long. It wasn't 2,000 plus. Take each component apart. Say take the association health plans. Put that in bill form. As I recollect, that'd be less than a page. Put that in committee. Debate it in committee. Let the American public begin to debate it. They're going to hear about it in Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh and Mark Levin and Glenn Beck and others. Maybe even on Alan Combs, because he'll be fighting against it. So the American people, like they showed during the health care debate, they got the bills and they read it, even though Congress wouldn't. And they began to talk about it. And so we can begin talking about association health plans. We can talk about tort reform. We can talk about purchasing of health care across state lines. We can talk about all of these things, even if the president won't sign the bills. But it starts the echo chamber going, and then by the time in 2012 we put a new administration in place that will sign good legislation that we need in the United States, the American public will be behind it. They'll know about it as much as Congress. We pass it, send it to the president, and we go on. In fact, we have health care reform more quickly probably than under Obama's plan, because that doesn't take effect until 2013, 2014, except the tax increases.